Hey, how are you? I'm Slice of Otaku, and chapter 250 of My Hero Academia has me very excited. It was brief, but it was really interesting and has me thinking about the rest of this arc. Because we started out with something a bit malicious. We got to see one of Endeavor's stalkers. You know how All Might attracts certain fans like Midoriya and such? Well, Endeavour, being the ever-positive guy he is, tends to attract these kinds of degenerates. And this superfan seems to have tracked him down to his place of residency. And for me, this sort of highlights the problems with hero society in which heroes are all public figures. You're able to easily access their family records and all of their otherwise information that would be secretive if they had secret identities. But they're all out there. They put themselves out there by being official heroes endorsed by the government. And so it's not like a situation where you know Batman, but you don't know Bruce Wayne to be Batman. No. You know they're the same person, and you can attack them where they're weakest. Their family, their loved ones, where they're most vulnerable. And Endeavour, now being more in tune with his family and thinking more actively about his family, is especially susceptible to this right now. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, because it's just great placement, great timing for all of this to be going down, and especially for Endeavour to prove that he isn't an asshole anymore, that he is trying to be a good father. I mean, I'd expect any father to try to save their child in mortal danger if they had the power to. But you know, we're at the bare minimum with this guy. But also early on into the chapter, we actually get a bit more information on Toya. And it seems like Natsu and Toya were the best of friends. They were brothers and very, very close. And so when Toya perished, Natsu kinda changed. And it seems like he blamed Endeavour for this misfortune. Whether or not that's figurative, as in he pushed Toya to the brink or such, or he literally killed Toya, is yet to be elaborated on, but it is a very interesting sentiment for him to hold. And to me, sort of answers the question we've had for the last few weeks as to what will be the thing that redeems Endeavour. And it seems like we now have an inkling of what that might possibly be. Because if it comes out that Endeavour did not kill Toya, and he actually had nothing to do with the end of Toya, and Toya is still here or whatever, it gives Endeavour a route, a passage of redemption and acceptance into his family once again. Right now, it seems like everyone in the family is ready to forgive and move past the past, except for Natsu. I mean, Shoto is seemingly warming up to Endeavour, and he has the empathy required to do so. Fuyumi is cool. Their mom is recovering and close to coming back. So it's just Natsu now. So Natsu is what is holding Endeavour back from his redemption, his full redemption, let's say. Or just them being open to him at this point, I guess. And I mean, in now knowing or anticipating this to be the path that brings Endeavour back to glory, it's a little weird for me still. I mean, Endeavour did some heinous things, and it's like, if that's the route you want to take in redeeming this character, fine, but I don't know if the fan base will be able to accept that fully. Like, if this will be unanimous for us as it stands, because you don't know what's going to happen specifically in the future. But as it currently stands and what I'm being led to believe, I don't know, it feels a little half-baked. But moving on to an actual beacon of positivity, Fuyumi is once again an angel. I mean, she thanks Deku for just being Shoto's friend. And I don't know, I've seen that in anime before, but it never gets old. It is so wholesome, it is so good. And for there to be this whole big panel for her to thank Deku, it's just nice. It's just really nice. She doesn't thank Bakugo specifically. I mean, I'd assume so. He's very abrasive, and I don't think he would take very kindly to that. But I think it would have been a comedic moment to see, because they are friends. Even though Bakugo wouldn't necessarily say it, they are friends. And also, as they're leaving, Endeavour thanks Fuyumi, because without her, this dinner would have never happened. They would have never all been in the same room. Even though Natsu only was there briefly, he was still in the same room as Endeavour, and that is a big task. That was big for them. Even though it didn't go over that well, it was still a step. They're both trying to rekindle what could have been there before. Then we get into the car, and Endeavour is talking about accelerating these three in their training and just putting more focus onto their training, having them shift around their classes if possible. And I'd imagine that Endeavour's thinking for this was to prepare them further for whatever Hawks was alluding to him, whatever danger was looming over them. He wants them to be as prepared as possible for when all hell breaks loose, which is good. It's good to know that they are being pushed into overdrive and going beyond what is already crazy enough studying under Endeavour. They are taking it to the next level. And also, there's a chauffeur in this car, and he's a bit of a character. I'm not sure how much more we'll get from him, but he is definitely a character. But things really heat up when we get a face down with the villain who started this chapter out for us. And Endeavour remembers this dude. He remembers specifically. So for Endeavour, someone who has dealt with several criminals, like so many criminals across his countless years as a hero, for him to recognize this guy should be a red flag. I mean, for Endeavour to remember this guy specifically from 7 years ago is impressive. It's either this dude was just that bad, or Endeavour's memory is just that good and he never forgets a criminal, which seems to be on some Batman vibes, but if that's the case, I think it's cool either way. And speaking of cool, why is Ending such a cool villain name? This guy he seeks his end. He wants to die. And so Ending is just so fitting, and it's just cool. It's simple, it's clean, and I love it. This guy seems to have like a rapping quirk or such. He seems like a mummy, and that's cool in of itself as well. A mummy that is ever seeking death. This undead dude who wants to die. But he doesn't want to just die, he wants to die specifically to Endeavour's hands, because he apparently admires Endeavour and wants the #1 hero to take him out. And to achieve this goal of his, he has taken Natsu captive. He is threatening Natsu's life. And for Endeavour, once again, this is another point of redemption. He's gonna get another gold star if he manages to successfully save his son. I don't expect Natsu to just be super grateful and such, because I mean, Endeavour being a hero is what kind of led to this. I mean, he didn't take the precautions, whatever. So yeah, suddenly being saved isn't going to save or salvage their relationship, but it'll be a step in the right direction, I'm sure. Because if anything, this will stress that Endeavour does care for his children, that their lives mean something to him, which I'm sure they've doubted once or twice. And so also, this might make Natsu think, why are you doing all this for me? Why didn't you have the same energy for Toya? And that will bring about another conversation, I'm sure. All in all, this chapter is yet another that teases me. I am dying for each and every new chapter. I want to know where this story is going. I want to know what's going on with this arc. I want to know how we are preparing for the villain invasion that is impending on the world, or at least Japan. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this chapter 250 of My Hero Academia, and what do you think about Ending? Is this just a character that's fulfilling a role here for Endeavour to go further in his redemption arc? Or is there more to him? Are we going to get a flashback, or is the information we were provided all that we're getting on him? in terms of his backstory, because I imagine that we'll get to see his quirk in full action and full swing and all that. Also, I doubt Shoto, Bakugo, and Deku are just gonna sit there helpless as if this is all Endeavor's burden. So this is a 4-on-1 with the #1 hero included and the top 3 of UA Class 1A. So this guy ending has to be a threat. He has to be a threat. I mean, he has a hostage, so that's one thing. But how's he gonna keep up? That's gonna be really cool to see. The next chapter is going to be epic. But with that, thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.